Imagine standing in a vast, darkened library, its endless shelves stretching into the infinite unknown. The scent of ancient parchment fills the air, and the weight of centuries of human curiosity presses down on you. Each book whispers secrets about the cosmos, stories of groundbreaking discoveries, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. These aren't just books, they are bridges, connecting us to the minds of the great thinkers who dared to ask the ultimate question: what lies beyond the stars? Welcome to the Astronomers' Library, the books that unlocked the mysteries of the universe by Karen Masters, a journey through time, across cultures, and into the minds of the visionaries who shaped our understanding of the cosmos. This isn't just a history of astronomy, it's a celebration of the written words and ideas that illuminated the darkness of space and time, from ancient celestial charts to revolutionary theories scribbled in notebooks. Have you ever wondered how humanity transitioned from gazing at the night sky in wonder to mapping galaxies billions of light years away? How books like Copernicus De Revolutionibus or Newton's Principia Mathematica completely altered the course of human thought? Or how the work of forgotten stargazers paved the way for modern astrophysics? These pages hold those answers and more. In this spellbinding exploration, Masters takes us through a gallery of pivotal texts that shaped not just science, but also the way we view ourselves and our place in the universe. But these aren't just cold, academic accounts. They're stories of obsession, courage, and defiance, of individuals who risked everything to bring their ideas into the light. As we embark on this voyage, imagine the thrill of Galileo's trembling hands as he first recorded his observations of Jupiter's moons, knowing they would shake the foundations of the Church. Picture the awe of Edwin Hubble, staring into the vastness of the Andromeda Galaxy and realizing for the first time that our universe was far larger than anyone had dared dream. Masters brings these moments vividly to life, immersing you in the triumphs, tragedies, and transformations that shaped our journey to the stars. So, whether you're an astronomy enthusiast, a history lover, or simply a dreamer captivated by the night sky, the Astronomers' Library will draw you in. With every turn of the page, you'll uncover how books, often humble, sometimes controversial, became the tools that unlocked the greatest mysteries of existence. Prepare to be inspired, to wonder, and to remember that at the heart of every discovery lies a question, scrawled on a page or tucked into the margins of history, daring us to look up and ask, what else is out there? Now, let's open the doors to this cosmic library and uncover the stories hidden within. Ready to explore? Let's begin. Part 1. The Dawn of Wonder, the Seeds of Astronomical Curiosity. Imagine a world where the night sky was the only light show humans ever knew. Before streetlights drowned the stars, before telescopes brought the heavens closer, and long before we could even dream of space exploration, humanity stood under a vast, uncharted cosmos. Part 1 of the Astronomers' Library sets the stage by taking us back to those first moments of wonder. Karen Masters invites us to journey through time, tracing the origins of our fascination with the universe and the written works that transformed stargazing into science. The Ancients and Their Sky Stories. The story begins thousands of years ago, when ancient civilizations first started gazing upward. In those times, the sky wasn't just a source of curiosity, it was a compass, a calendar, and a storyteller. Masters beautifully paints the scene: a Mesopotamian shepherd lying in a field, weaving the movements of stars into myths, or an Egyptian priest recording celestial patterns to predict the flooding of the Nile. Masters introduces us to some of the earliest astronomical books, though they weren't books as we know them today. They were clay tablets, stone carvings, and scrolls, filled with symbols that told the stories of the cosmos. The Babylonian Mull, Appen tablets, for instance, are highlighted as some of humanity's earliest attempts to record star patterns and their meanings. These ancient texts weren't just scientific, they were sacred, blending mythology and astronomy into a unified view of the universe. Masters makes the connection clear: before we could study the heavens, we first had to imagine them. These early stories of gods, animals, and heroes inhabiting the sky laid the groundwork for the scientific revolution that would follow. The Greeks and the birth of rational thought. The narrative shifts to ancient Greece, where humanity's relationship with the stars took a sharp turn. Here, Masters introduces the characters who would become the first astronomers in the modern sense. Figures like Pythagoras, Plato, and Aristotle step into the spotlight, not as distant philosophers, but as passionate seekers of truth. Masters spins their stories with drama and intrigue. We learn how Pythagoras, fascinated by the harmony of the cosmos, envisioned the planets singing as they orbited, a music of the spheres that hinted at an underlying order in the chaos of the universe. Plato, with his insistence on geometric perfection, and Aristotle, with his Earth-centered cosmos, began the long journey of trying to make sense of the stars through observation and reason. But it wasn't until Hipparchus, the father of trigonometry, that the first star catalog was born. Masters recounts how Hipparchus painstakingly mapped the heavens, recording over 850 stars. His work, later preserved in Ptolemy's Almagest, was the first real step toward understanding the mechanics of the cosmos. Masters describes the Almagest as both a masterpiece and a prison. For centuries, Ptolemy's geocentric model would dominate astronomical thought, shaping the way humanity understood the universe, even as it stifled progress. But Masters hints at the rebellion brewing, setting the stage for the scientific upheaval to come. The Islamic Golden Age, a spark in the darkness. As the narrative progresses, Masters takes us on a journey eastward, where the Islamic Golden Age became a beacon of knowledge during Europe's Dark Ages. This part of the story is rich with culture, innovation, and intellectual exchange. We meet scholars like Al-Khwarizmi, who introduced algorithms and advanced mathematics that would become critical for astronomy. Masters describes the House of Wisdom in Baghdad as a buzzing hive of activity, where texts from ancient Greece, India, and Persia were translated, studied, and expanded upon. One of the standout figures here is Al-Sufi, whose book, The Book of Fixed Stars, fused Greek knowledge with new observations. Masters vividly recounts how Al-Sufi corrected and updated Ptolemy's star catalog, adding vivid descriptions of constellations and even spotting the Andromeda Galaxy, the first recorded mention of a galaxy beyond our own. Masters also emphasizes the collaborative spirit of this era. Islamic astronomers didn't just preserve knowledge, they improved it, paving the way for the Renaissance. Their work reminds us that science is a global endeavor, built on the contributions of many cultures and perspectives. The Renaissance, a revolution in the stars. The first part of the book ends with the Renaissance, a time when the old certainties of the cosmos began to crumble. Masters introduces us to Nicholas Copernicus, a quiet, unassuming cleric whose revolutionary book, De Revolutionibus Orbium Coelestium, on the revolutions of the celestial spheres, would forever change humanity's place in the universe. Masters brings Copernicus to life, describing the inner turmoil of a man who dared to challenge Ptolemy's geocentric model with his heliocentric theory. She portrays the publication of De Revolutionibus as a watershed moment, comparing it to a stone dropped into a still pond, sending ripples of change through the world. But Copernicus's ideas were just the beginning. Masters teases the arrival of Galileo, Kepler, and others who would take the torch and push the boundaries of knowledge even further. She ends part 1 with a sense of anticipation, inviting readers to follow her into the next chapter of this grand story. Themes and takeaways from part 1. Masters doesn't just recount historical facts, she weaves them into a narrative that feels alive and urgent. She highlights several key themes: curiosity as a driving force. From ancient myths to meticulous star catalogs, every step forward began with a sense of wonder. The interplay of myth and science. Early astronomy was as much about storytelling as it was about observation, showing how imagination fuels discovery. The global nature of knowledge. The journey of astronomy is a tapestry woven from the contributions of many cultures, reminding us of the power of collaboration. Part 2. The Revolution of Thought, the Cosmos Unveiled. In Part 2 of the Astronomers' Library, the books that unlocked the mysteries of the universe, Karen Masters delves into the most transformative period in the history of astronomy. This is the age of revolution, where old paradigms gave way to bold new ideas, and the celestial spheres were reimagined through the lens of mathematics, observation, and invention. With an engaging and story-like narrative, Masters brings the struggles, triumphs, and brilliant minds of this era vividly to life. The Rebel Stargazer, Galileo Galilei. Masters begins Part 2 with a figure as iconic as the telescope itself, Galileo Galilei. Describing him as a man who had the audacity to point a lens toward the heavens, she takes us to the year 1609, when Galileo's observations would shatter centuries of dogma. The narrative unfolds like a drama. Galileo, initially a professor of mathematics, learns of a device invented in the Netherlands, the telescope. Masters recounts his relentless curiosity and ingenuity as he improves upon the rudimentary design, creating a tool that would redefine astronomy. With this improved telescope, Galileo gazes at the moon, only to discover its surface isn't the smooth, perfect sphere described by ancient philosophers. It is rugged, cratered, and very much imperfect, a blow to the Aristotelian view of the cosmos. Masters doesn't stop there. She guides readers through Galileo's discoveries, the moons of Jupiter, which orbited the planet rather than Earth, the phases of Venus, which supported Copernicus's heliocentric model, and the countless stars that revealed the Milky Way as a sprawling galaxy. But with these revelations came resistance. Masters vividly portrays Galileo's clashes with the Catholic Church, painting him as both a hero of science and a tragic figure. His book, Sidereus Nuncius, Starry Messenger, is described as a work that lit the fire of the scientific revolution, even as it drew the ire of powerful institutions. Kepler and the Harmony of the Spheres. From Galileo's observations, Masters transitions to the meticulous brilliance of Johannes Kepler, a man obsessed with uncovering the mathematical laws of the cosmos. If Galileo was the rebel, Kepler was the obsessive genius, willing to dedicate his life to solving celestial riddles. Masters tells the story of Kepler's work as an almost mythic quest. She describes his partnership with Tycho Brahe, the eccentric Danish astronomer whose meticulous data on planetary motion would become the foundation of Kepler's breakthroughs. But this partnership was fraught with tension, as Tycho guarded his data jealously, while Kepler struggled to access the information he needed. When Tycho's death finally gave Kepler access to the prized data, the true magic began. Masters recounts Kepler's tireless efforts to analyze Mars's orbit, a process that took years of calculations. His eventual discovery of the 3 laws of planetary motion, published in Astronomia Nova, would upend the idea of perfect circular orbits, replacing them with elliptical paths. Kepler's work wasn't just a scientific achievement, it was a poetic revelation. Masters captures his wonder as he realized the cosmos operated according to precise mathematical principles, describing it as the music of the spheres made visible. Newton's universe, the clockwork cosmos. The next act in this grand story belongs to Isaac Newton, whose contributions would forever change how humanity understood the universe. Masters introduces Newton as a solitary, enigmatic figure, working in near isolation during the plague years of the 1660s. It was during this time, Masters explains, that Newton developed the framework that would unify the heavens and the earth, the law of universal gravitation. The tale of the falling apple, a mix of myth and reality, serves as a metaphor for Newton's genius in seeing connections where others saw only mystery. Masters dives into Newton's magnum opus, Philosophiae Naturalis Principia Mathematica, the mathematical principles of natural philosophy, with the reverence it deserves. She describes it as a book that turned the universe into a giant clockwork machine, governed by laws that could be understood and predicted. But Newton's journey wasn't without its challenges. Masters recounts the bitter rivalries and disputes that marked his career, particularly with figures like Robert Hooke. Despite these conflicts, Newton's legacy as the architect of classical physics is undeniable. Masters leaves readers in awe of the sheer magnitude of his achievements, which provided a foundation for centuries of scientific progress. The Enlightenment and the Age of Exploration. With Newton's principles in place, Masters shifts the focus to the broader implications of his work. The Enlightenment era, she explains, was a time when astronomy became a global pursuit. Observatories sprang up across Europe and beyond, each competing to push the boundaries of knowledge. Masters introduces a cast of colorful characters, including Edmund Halley, who predicted the return of the comet that now bears his name, and Charles Messier, a French astronomer whose catalogue of nebulae and star clusters would become an essential tool for future stargazers. This was also the age of celestial navigation, where astronomy intersected with exploration. Masters tells gripping tales of sailors using sextants and star charts to navigate the seas, emphasizing how the study of the heavens had practical applications that shaped human history. The telescope revolution. Part 2 concludes with the technological advancements that propelled astronomy into a new era. Masters describes the invention of larger, more powerful telescopes, including the revolutionary work of William Herschel, who discovered the planet Uranus. Herschel's story is one of passion and perseverance. Masters describes how he and his sister, Caroline, spent countless nights observing the sky, driven by a shared sense of wonder. Their work, published in catalogs and papers, expanded humanity's understanding of the cosmos and set the stage for the discoveries of the 19th and 20th centuries. Themes and takeaways from Part 2. Masters weave several key themes throughout the section. The courage to question. Figures like Galileo and Kepler dared to challenge long-held beliefs, showing that progress requires bravery. The power of collaboration. From Tycho and Kepler to William and Caroline Herschel, many of the greatest discoveries were the result of teamwork. The role of technology. Advances in tools like the telescope were crucial in transforming astronomy from a theoretical pursuit into a data-driven science. Part 3. The Modern Cosmos, Unlocking the Infinite. In Part 3 of the Astronomers' Library, the books that unlocked the mysteries of the universe, Karen Masters takes readers on a thrilling journey through the modern age of astronomy. This section is a celebration of groundbreaking discoveries, audacious theories, and the visionary minds who forever altered humanity's understanding of the cosmos. With a masterful blend of storytelling and scientific insight, Masters guides us from the 19th century to the cutting edge of today's space exploration. The birth of astrophysics. The stars come alive. Masters begins Part 3 by introducing readers to the field of astrophysics, which transformed astronomy from the study of celestial motion into an investigation of the very nature of stars. This revolution began with the advent of spectroscopy, a technique that allowed scientists to analyze the light emitted by stars to determine their composition. The story centers around the pioneering work of Joseph Fraunhofer and later William Huggins, whose spectral analysis revealed that stars were made of the same elements found on Earth. Masters recounts how this discovery shattered the long-held belief that the heavens were made of an entirely different substance, a shift that brought the stars closer to humanity. She then introduces the Harvard Computers, a group of women, including Annie Jump Cannon and Cecilia Payne-Gaposchkin, whose meticulous cataloging of stellar spectra revealed the secrets of stellar classification. Payne-Gaposchkin, in particular, revolutionized astronomy by proving that hydrogen was the most abundant element in the universe, a discovery that rewrote textbooks. The Expanding Universe. Einstein and Hubble. The narrative takes a dramatic turn with the introduction of Albert Einstein and his theory of general relativity, which redefined gravity and opened the door to a new understanding of the universe. Masters describes how Einstein's equations predicted a dynamic cosmos, one that could expand or contract. However, Einstein, initially uncomfortable with this implication, added a cosmological constant to his equations to maintain a static universe, a decision he later called his greatest blunder. Enter Edwin Hubble, the astronomer who would prove the universe was indeed expanding. Masters vividly recounts Hubble's observations at the Mount Wilson Observatory in California, where he used the massive Hooker telescope to study distant galaxies. His discovery of the redshift, the stretching of light waves as galaxies move away from us, provided definitive evidence of an expanding universe. Masters brings this era to life by highlighting the collaborative and competitive spirit of the time, with figures like Georges Lemaitre, the Belgian priest astronomer who first proposed the primeval atom, a precursor to the Big Bang theory. She describes their debates and breakthroughs with a narrative flair that keeps readers hooked. The age of space exploration, humanity reaches for the stars. Masters shifts gears to the mid-20th century, a time when humanity began to leave its planetary cradle. She describes the advent of radio astronomy, led by pioneers like Carl Jansky and Jocelyn Bell Burnell, whose discovery of pulsars, rotating neutron stars, further expanded our understanding of the cosmos. The narrative then takes readers to the dawn of the space age, beginning with the launch of Sputnik in 1957 and culminating in the Apollo missions. Masters paints vivid portraits of the scientists, engineers, and astronauts who made these achievements possible. Figures like Wernher von Braun, who designed the Saturn V rocket, and Margaret Hamilton, the software engineer who developed the code that guided Apollo 11 to the moon, are brought to life in rich detail. She also highlights the role of space telescopes, particularly the Hubble Space Telescope, which has provided breathtaking images and invaluable data about distant galaxies, black holes, and exoplanets. Masters describes how the Hubble mission, initially plagued by technical issues, became one of the greatest triumphs in the history of science. Dark matter, dark energy, and the unseen universe. The story takes a mysterious turn as Masters delves into the 21st century's most perplexing questions. What is the universe made of? She introduces readers to the concepts of dark matter and dark energy, the unseen forces that comprise over 95% of the universe. Masters recounts the work of astronomers like Fritz Zwicky, who first inferred the existence of dark matter in the 1930s, and Vera Rubin, whose observations of galaxy rotation curves provided definitive evidence of its presence. She explains these complex ideas in an accessible and engaging way, using analogies and anecdotes to keep readers enthralled. The narrative then explores dark energy, the mysterious force driving the accelerated expansion of the universe. Masters describes the groundbreaking work of teams led by Saul Perlmutter and Brian Schmidt, whose observations of distant supernovae earned them the Nobel Prize. The multiverse and the search for life. Masters concludes the book with a look at some of the most speculative and profound questions facing modern astronomy. She discusses the idea of the multiverse, where our universe might be just one of countless others, and the implications of this theory for our understanding of existence itself. She also delves into the search for extraterrestrial life, describing the efforts of programs like SETI and the discovery of exoplanets by missions such as Kepler and TESS. Masters brings readers to the cutting edge of research, highlighting the potential habitability of planets like Proxima Centauri b and the tantalizing possibility of life beneath the icy crust of moons like Europa. Themes and takeaways from Part 3. Masters closes the book with a reflection on the themes that have emerged throughout the journey: curiosity as a driving force. From the early stargazers to modern astrophysicists, the desire to understand the unknown has been the engine of discovery. Collaboration across eras, each generation builds on the work of those who came before, creating a tapestry of knowledge that spans millennia. The infinite possibilities of the universe. The more we learn, the more we realize how much remains unknown, leaving room for endless exploration. Thanks for listening. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new video updates. Happy learning!